South Africa's government is ramping up political pressure on white South Africans to advance its highly controversial land reform. One America's Kristian Rouz explains.
South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa reaffirms his intent to seize white-owned properties without compensation, saying without the land reform the country will remain divided. Ramaphosa made his remarks last week at an event dedicated to the 100th anniversary of Afrikaner Bond, a white South African organization.
We have taken steps to end white privilege and correct past injustices, whether it be in employment, as regards employment equity, black economic empowerment, and preferential procurement.
Ramaphosa stressed the land must be redistributed equally among all South African citizens, regardless of existing property rights. He also said Afrikaner Bond was a tool of oppression, accusing the organization of denying rights and freedoms to the country's black majority during the apartheid.
Have it we must, and in a deep and meaningful way. If well handled, affirmative action will help bind the nation together and produce benefits for everyone.
Ramaphosa's remarks reveal ongoing racialization of the land issue in South Africa based on the criticism of apartheid, which ceased to exist 24 years ago.
I then believe that this is what was misinterpreted, as everybody now believes that the two-state solution is the right one for Israel and Palestine, that a 9 or 10-state solution is the right solution for South Africa.
South Africa's looming land reform has already produced violent clashes and premature land grabs across the country, whilst the number of farm murders against white South Africans skyrocketed, amounting at hundreds per year. In its recent report, civil rights group AfriForum said 100 farm murders against white South Africans happened in the first 3 months of this year alone.
It basically deals with people coming onto the farm from outside of the property and committing these crimes on the property, either to inflict harm to the family or the people living there. Doesn't necessarily have to be the farmer, it could be the farm workers as well, or to damage the property with the aim of disrupting farming activities.
At the Afrikaner Bond event, Ramaphosa also urged white South Africans not to leave their country, but to share their knowledge and experience after their land is taken from them. Ramaphosa also said his cabinet has received over 140,000 claims on Afrikaner-owned properties. Members of the Afrikaner Bond responded to Ramaphosa's remarks with deafening silence.
Afrikaners don't see themselves as a glorious nation that existed for 300 years. They see themselves as a suffering and a troubled people who survived despite or in spite of massive political
Which you obviously
troubles.
believe is...
They had a very troubled history. They think that they in some other way had to make massive sacrifices to come where they are. They think of themselves as a long-suffering people to a large degree.
Meantime, South Africa's economy contracted 2.2% in the first quarter, whilst unemployment is above 26% in this once prosperous country. Additionally, the ongoing collapse of South African national currency, the rand, is stirring resentment in the mining industry, which has close ties to Afrikaner Bond.
So much damage done by the state, inflicted through state enterprises on our economy in recent years. This ain't going to be a quick fix. This is a long, medium-term play, and one which I'm afraid a lot more pain to come, perhaps.
Some say Afrikaner Bond could exert its economic power to protect white South Africans from land expropriations, but this would lead to an open confrontation with Ramaphosa and a possible partition of South Africa. Kristian, Rouz, One American News.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.